Hey everyone, welcome to Amy Ulmer Yoga. I have yoga for your feet today, and you will need some sort of ball. I have a yoga tune-up ball, but you can use a golf, tennis, or lacrosse ball if you have one. So I'll meet you on your mat. So we will start in bound angle pose. You can come to a seat and bring the soles of the feet together. And if you feel like you're really rounding back here, you can scooch your feet a little more forward and kind of stick your butt out. Or if you have a blanket, you can sit up on the edge of a blanket. You can start to give yourself a little foot massage here. So you're just kind of, I'm taking my thumbs and rubbing up and down the foot in a circular motion, giving the feet some love. And start to come into your breath also. Just give yourself one more little massage down the feet. And then we'll come to a kneeling position. And if your knees are sensitive, you can place a blanket under the knees, but you're gonna tuck your toes and make sure that every toe is tucked, even that little baby toe. And you're gonna sit back on your heels, and you can keep your hands down on the mat if this is a lot, or if you want more, you can start to sit upright. This one's really hard for me. If you want even more, you can kind of tuck the tail under and lean back. I'm gonna stick with this middle position. And then if your hands are not on the mat, you can bring them to heart center, interlace fingers, press the palms forward, kind of round into your upper back, and then inhale, stretch the palms up. Exhale, the hands down and around, hands come to heart center, interlace the other way. We're just distracting ourselves from our feet right now. Press the palms forward, round into your upper back. Reach the palms up. This is the last one. And then exhale, release, and bring the hands forward if they're not already. Untuck your toes and just tap out the tops of the feet. Whew, I need to do that one more often. Okay, now you'll bring your knees under your hips and your wrists a little forward of your shoulders distance, or even a little wider, spreading the fingers. Tuck the toes and lift your hips up and back. You can bend your knees as much as you need to, especially if you find your back rounding. And then we're just going to inhale and lift the heels up, and exhale and lower the heels any amount towards the mat or to the mat. If they make it there, doesn't matter. And then you just do that a couple more times, pumping the heels, inhaling, reaching the tailbone up towards the ceiling, and exhaling, letting the heels descend. Inhale, lift the heels, really reach through your arms, reach your tail up, and exhale, descend the heels. And then we'll walk the hands back towards the feet to a forward fold at the back of the mat. Let the head hang heavy. Bend your knees if you need to. You can have your hands on blocks if you need to. Let the head hang. You can nod the head yes, shake the head no. Soften your jaw, soften the senses, the eyes. And then gently roll up. All right, and now you'll need your ball, your tennis or yoga tune-up ball or whatever you've got, golf ball, lacrosse ball. And you're gonna take your ball and start at the heel, rolling out your foot. So you're just gonna roll around first at the heel in a circular motion, forward and back. And then you're gonna move to the ball of the foot and kind of start at the periphery and then just narrow that until you get to the center, moving in a circle in both directions, just kind of in a way that feels good. And then you work your way up to the ball of the foot. Ooh, that's tender there. Feel free to hang out in any kind of sticky corners. Okay, and then like at the near your toes, the base of the toes. Okay, and then just switch. Actually pause a moment. Feel that difference between the foot you just did and the one you haven't rolled out yet. I can feel the texture of the mat better. That's wild. So then we'll take the ball to the heel of the other foot, and you'll just kind of go forward and back, and then also in a circle in both directions. Okay, and then you'll move to the ball of the foot, or sorry, the arch of the foot. And you'll start at the periphery and just work your way into the center, taking your time and pausing at any point you feel a sticky spot or spot you want to work out. Okay, and then we'll move to the ball of the foot. Again, starting around the periphery, moving in a circle. And then going to the middle and just kind of moving forward and back. Middle of the ball of the foot. You can try applying some straight down pressure. And then go to the base of the toes. Okay, and then set the the ball to the side and go to the back of the mat. Lift and spread your toes and just kind of feel all four corners of the feet. And then start to shift the weight into your right foot, bringing the left sole of the foot anywhere above or below your right knee if you can, or make your way to a wall and have your right leg face or to the side of the wall. Standing to the side of the wall, you can place your right hand at the wall and just use it to balance. Otherwise, you can bring your hands to heart center and you press the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. And then if you want, you can grow your branches and reach the arms up. Fight for that balance as many times as you need to. Maybe find a spot to take your gaze to help with balance. And keep the breath steady. And then gently come back down, and we'll just switch to the other side. So if you need to find a wall, take your left leg to the side of the wall and bring the right sole of the foot up anywhere above or below the knee. You can use your hand at the wall for balance, or you can bring the hands to heart center. Press into the standing foot and press the right foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. Rooting down at the same time you're rising up, reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Steady breath. Maybe you grow your branches, maybe your tree moves in the wind. Just be prepared to fall over with a smile. Okay, then you can release and just take a little walk to the top of the mat, feeling the texture of the mat, your newly rolled out feet, freshly rolled out feet. Feels good on the mat. Okay, and then bring the big toes together and the heels a little bit apart so that the outer edges are more or less towards being parallel. Okay, and then we'll sit back like we're sitting in a chair. So booty back, chest is lifted. You're bringing some weight into your heels. You're drawing the lowest part of the belly up. Okay, maybe you sink a little lower, and a little lower, and a little lower, and maybe you come into a squat. It's okay if your heels come up. Maybe you come all the way down and then roll back and hug your knees into your chest. Nice work. Okay, then you're going to hug behind your thighs and see if you can roll with control back up using your core. So you come up and you balance in your ball, and then see if you can bring your shins parallel to the mat and reach your fingers forward in boat. You might even be able to straighten your legs. Look at your toes wherever you are. In between your toes, steady breath. And then see if you can hug the right knee in and slowly lower down, hovering your left leg, drawing the knee to the nose. Take one more breath. And then let the left leg come all the way down and take the right knee over to the left, letting your right arm go out to a T. Twisting, you can gaze over the right shoulder. You can bring your left hand to your right thigh. And you want to try to lengthen this top rib cage that's rotating. Nice. And then gently come back to center, and we'll hug both knees in again. And then you'll hug behind the thighs. And again, see if with control you can rock up to balance in a ball, pulling your core in. And then see if you can come to boat again with the shins parallel, the fingers reaching forward, or you can hold behind your thighs. Maybe you straighten your legs. Look at your toes. Keep the breath steady. Shaking is normal. Let yourself shake. That's you getting stronger. Okay, then the left knee hugs in and you roll down, but your right leg hovers and you draw your nose to your knee. Good, and then you go down, you let your right leg go down, and the left knee goes over to the right, left arm out to a T. You can take the gaze over the left shoulder if you would like. Right hand can come to your left thigh. Relax your shoulders. Relax your sense organs. One more full cycle of breath. Okay, then gently come back to center and we'll hug the knees into the chest. And then either grab behind your thighs, draw your knees towards your armpits, flex your feet. This is happy baby. Or you can grab your shins. You can grab your ankles or the outer edges of your feet. You just don't want to become a turtle shell with your back rounded. So just have your hands be wherever you can keep a pretty much long back, attempting to keep the natural curves of your back. So lengthen from the crown of your head through your tail. Let your tailbone drop down. You can rock your baby if you would like. Okay, and then just let the soles of the feet come together and grab your ankles. The feet will come apart a little bit, keeping your knees wide. Okay, and then you can either just keep the knees bent, the feet towards the edges of the mat and the knees dropping in, if that's better for your low back, or you can stretch the legs out long and let your feet flop out and your arms flop out. Take glasses off if you have them. Make sure you're comfortable. Soften the brow, the forehead. Imagine the brain dropping back into the skull. Allow the eyelids to soften. And the eyes drop back into their sockets. Allow the muscles around your cheekbones to soften. Lower jaw releases from the upper jaw. Soften the jaw. Soften the throat. And the chest. And the arms. Release down into the mat. And the belly, the pelvis, and the legs heavy. The mind starts to wander. Gently bring your attention back to the breath. And let your next inhale be a little deeper. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Circle wrists and ankles. Let the head rock side to side. And then bend one knee at a time if they're not already. Just hug the knees in. And then gently roll off to one side and press yourself up to a seat. Sitting up nice and tall, keeping the eyes soft or closed. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.